This is Ted Bryant coming to you with the third edition of the How North North Star podcast. Here with the news is Stephanie Cope and Laura O'Connor.
If you are bringing a guest from another school to the Snow Coming Dance, Saturday, February 25th, guest forms are now available in the main office. Forms will be due the day you purchase your guest's ticket on February 16th or 17th.
Do you like music? Do you like bands? Would you like a student showcase displaying bands from our school? Well, if you do, you've got a great event coming up for you. It's called Frau Fest. Tickets are already on sale during 4A to 4C lunches or Frau McPartland's room, 216 for only $3. It's going to be a great night, so keep your calendar open on Thursday, February 9th for music, fun, and some crazy German folks. See you there.
It's that time of year again. The Alcohol, Tobacco, and Other Drugs Task Force of Healthy Communities, St. Charles County, is gearing up for the 5th annual Pre-Prom Slogan and Design Contest for St. Charles County high school students. Each year, the ATOD Task Force incorporates the winning design and slogan into community awareness campaigns. The winning slogan appears on T-shirts distributed to students of participating schools at pre-prom assemblies in April and May, and on posters distributed to schools and local businesses throughout St. Charles County. So, if you want to create a design that promotes safe, healthy, and drug-free behaviors, get working. The deadline for entering the contest is Friday, February 24th, 2006. A flyer is available in the main office.
Jordan's Jump Off will be held this Friday, February 3rd at 5 p.m. in the band hallway and small courtyard. Join the senior class as we help raise money for Jordan Lawson and others in the future that need help. You can expect food, games, prizes, raffles, donations, and performances.
If you would like to purchase a North Star Paper Day t-shirt, stop by room 026 by Friday with your shirt size and some cash. They are lime green and awesome.
This has been Cope and
Laura O. with your weekly North Star update. Out.
All right, thanks, guys. Now, we're sure you heard about them on the announcements. They're a new club around How North, the Breakdancing Club. We got a few members here. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys?
My name is Kyle Smith, and I'm in 11th grade.
And my name is Derek Saman-Moneyval, and I'm 11th grade too.
All right, guys, so why don't you go ahead and just explain the purpose of Breakdancing Club. What do you guys do up there?
Well, basically, what we do up there is we go up there, we express ourselves for what we really are. I mean, that's all. That's what I've been wanting to do from like day one. All right.
So how did this club come to be?
Well, we started seeing different shades of color dancing up there, and we're like, these girls, I mean, they can dance, but they can't dance compared to some of the friends that I know. So I'm like sitting here, why not start a breakdancing group for us guys? So I'm like, Derek, you want to do something? Derek's like,
I always wanted to start a club so people can break, dance, hip hop, anything they want to express themselves. Because usually when you see an assembly, people sort of get kind of bored at it, watching gets tired out, and it's always the same thing over and over, cheerleaders, another dance group or something. But we wanted to try something new, so get the crowd more into it,
Right. Yeah, that's good. So, say someone wants to get involved with this club, what do they need to do?
All you gotta do is just show up every Wednesday after school in the Commons up in the junior and senior loft. I mean, you show up, we'll be able to teach you. We've got the assembly coming up, so if you don't get there soon, we can't get you in there, but we can get you in assemblies like afterwards. I mean, that's the best we can do.
All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot for coming down here and talking to us.
All right,
hopefully we'll
thank you.
see more from the Breakdancing Club in the future.
Hopefully.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
All right, now it's time for something that we hope becomes a long-running segment on our podcast. Today is the maiden voyage of 90 Seconds with Chad. So, Nathan, you want to cue up the timer? You ready to go?
Ready to go.
All right. In 3, 2, 1. Chad, everybody.
Yo, this is 90 Seconds with Chad, where I'll be discussing what's on my mind. And this week, what's on my mind is Bam Margera. Bam Margera rules. He was not only a prominent role in Jackass, he even has his own show, Viva La Bam. That's why I think Bam Margera rules, and he should be president of the United States. Because, seriously, think about it. If Bam were president, we wouldn't have any more wars. All of our country's disputes would be solved with an endless series of pranks, such as destroying their cars, or destroying their houses, or building ditches right outside their houses, or sneaking into the room in the middle of the night while they're sleeping and playing music right next to their head, or setting off fireworks in their room. Yeah. That's why I think Bam Margera rules. And not only that, his cabinet will be made up of Ryan Dunn, Rab himself, Raytheon, and Brandon DiCamillo. I think that's how he pronounces his name. Because they rule too. Because they're part of the CKY crew. Bam also has a series of videos called CKY, which is taken after the name of his brother's band, which is also called
30
CKY.
seconds, Chad. 30 seconds.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah, and they also have CKY videos too, so you should check them out. There's a series of 5 of them, plus there's the Jackass movie, and soon to come Jackass 2, which stars, guess who? Bam Margera. That's why I think Bam Margera. How much time do I have left?
I think you're good. Wrap it up and you're good to go.
All right, so yeah, Bam Margera for president 08.
All right, Chad. Thanks a lot for that. Coming up next, we got a PTI-style debate over the Super Bowl featuring myself, Ted Bryan, and Dan Grody. So, Grody, why don't you come on over here? All right, we got Nathan Bryant as our moderator, our Tony Reale of sorts. So Nathan's going to keep time for us. What we're going to do is we have 5 different segments on Super Bowl issues, and he's going to keep time for us. We're going to go a minute on each segment. A minute only. So I'll start the first one, and then Grody will start, and then I'll start. So,
okay, first question: who's the better running back?
all right, better running back. I think Seattle takes the taco here. I watched Sean Alexander blow by linemen all season, spin past D-backs, and totally destroy my fantasy football team in the league championship. He rushed for like 1,880 yards and 27 touchdowns, averaged 5.1 yards a carry. League MVP, Grody. Grody, league MVP, all right? Not to mention fullback Max Strong, one of the more up-and-coming versatile fullbacks in the league. What do you got, Grody?
Oh, no way. Jerome Bettis is the better running back. It's his last game ever. He's playing in his home city, and his team wants to win it for him. This year in the AFC, after the AFC Championship game, his teammates, and especially Hines Ward, were crying after he gave a speech in the locker room, asking them to take him back to Detroit. This postseason, he has 3 touchdowns. Alexander only has 2.
Oh,
So,
well.
both offensive lines are gonna have to figure a way how to
Time. Okay, toss up. Individual matchups.
I want Troy Polamalu versus Matt Hasselbeck and Bobby Ingram. I think Polamalu is going to take this just because, I mean, come on. Their defense is a lot better than Matt Hasselbeck.
Really?
Yes.
All right, well, I'm going with the left side of the Seahawks offensive line. You got Walter Jones, you got Steve Hutchinson, you got Robbie Tobeck versus the left side of the Steelers defense in Aaron Smith, Casey Hampton, and outside linebacker Clark Haggins. This is the left side is probably the stronger side of the Seahawks O-line versus the weaker side of the Steelers front 8. Alexander can dominate all day long. As long as this solid group of guys opens up holes, they should have no problem doing just that against Smith, Haggins, and Aaron Smith. So, what do you say, Grody?
I would still take Troy Polamalu.
Polamalu's a solid player, but I don't know. The Seahawks O-line, I think they can beat down that Steelers D-line.
He had 70.
Time.
All
Alright, toss up. Who's got the better defense?
Better defense. It's tough to make a case for the Seahawks, especially when they're playing the Steelers, but I'm going to go for the Seahawks just for the sole reason that I really love the way that this young defense is really bonded and pulled together. You know, Seattle, during the offseason, makes room for 2 rookie linebackers, Leroy Hill and Pro Bowler Lofa Tatupu, who run the defense with the mentality of a 10-year veteran. You know, these guys, they're at the top of their game. Also, you got Nathan Vasher, the cornerback out of Texas, who's played real good, consistent football all season. And you got safety Michael Boulware, who's been tremendous and has really stepped up in the postseason.
I don't know. I think the Steelers will take this one. They have the 4th-ranked defense, only allowing 284 yards a game. Troy Polamalu is the starting safety in the Pro Bowl, and he had 73 tackles, 3 sacks, and 2 picks in the season. Joey Porter had 10.5 sacks, and that was 12th best in the league, and Clark Higgins had 9, so he was 19th. That was ranked higher than any Seahawk there.
Oh, well, okay. So the Steelers have the individual numbers, but I'm going with I'm going with the Seahawks because they're the 5th best run-stopping defense in the league.
Time.
And I think they'll stop.
Time.
All right, fine.
Who has the better coach, Seahawks or the Steelers?
Oh, hands down, it's Bill Cowher and the Steelers. This is his second Super Bowl appearance in his 14 years as coach of the Steelers. This is 9th postseason, and he has 8 division titles and a .627 winning percentage. This is his 14th year, and he's the longest tenured coach in the NFL. His teams have an amazing rushing consistency. They have 135 yards rushing in a game. That's the best over the last 14 years.
Well, I'm a huge fan of the Cowher Scour, or Scowl, I don't know exactly what it is, but I like Mike Holmgren a lot. You look at the way he turned the Seahawks team around from an AFC nobody to a playoff team in his first season as head coach in '99. Oh yeah, and by leading the '99 Seahawks into the playoffs that year, he became only the 3rd NFL coach in history to lead a team into the playoffs in at least 7 straight seasons. Of course, he did it before with the Green Bay Packers, who he also took to 2 Super Bowls and won one of them before coming to the Seahawks. I think you can give him large credit for turning Brett Favre into what he is today, future Hall of Famer, and one of the league's more solid QBs.
Okay.
Good timing.
Final toss-up.
That's a good one.
Who is going to win?
My final predictions. I think in a close one, Seattle comes out on top. They'll win by 3 or so, especially, well, maybe not 3, since Vinatieri is not in the Super Bowl this year, kicking those field goals and whatnot. But I think they'll win by 3, so I'll go with 27-24. I think Sean Alexander slips up a little early against the Steelers D, but I think he'll put it on himself and carry the Seahawks to Super Bowl glory. And if the Seahawks win, Alexander's the guy who'll be headed to Disney World.
I have to go with the Steelers on this one. They're going to be more up for it. Jerome Bettis' last game in the home city. They want to win one for him. It's going to be a blowout. It's going to be 35-17.
35-17.
It's going to be it's going to be 17-14 at half. But I think the defenses are going to crumble, and it's going to be an offensive game.
Well, that makes sense. That's usually what happens when you see 2 defensive teams go at it. It usually ends up being an offensive game. It's weird.
Roethlisberger's going to have his coming out party, Super Bowl MVP.
Ben Roethlisberger. All right. Well, Grody, appreciate that. That turned out well. That went nicely, I think.
Okay.
Good on time?
I think that you guys need to back up your trash talk with a challenge. Whichever team wins next week, that decides who the loser is, and we're going to decide what the loser has to do next week on the podcast.
Hey, I'm game. Grody, you down?
Yeah, that's fine. I can do that.
All right, hey.
All right,
You have to dress up like a girl.
It's all on Grody.
All right, so how about next week the loser has to sing the first stanza of Canada's national anthem on the podcast.
Hey, I'm down. I have a beautiful voice.
We can do that. Let's do it.
We'll see.
All right, shake it, Grody. All right, well, that's all the time we have on this week's podcast. We'll hope you tune in next week where we'll have all your news and updates and either me or Grody singing the Canadian national anthem. So until next time, this is Ted Bryan signing off for the rest of the How North Star crew. Thanks for listening.